Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, that being separation. We are well aware that there is a large and growing number of Albertans that have lost hope in Alberta having a free and prosperous future as a part of Canada. Many of these Albertans are organizing petitions to trigger a citizen-initiated referendum, as I mentioned earlier. The vast majority of these individuals are not fringe voices to be marginalized or vilified. They are loyal Albertans. They are quite literally our friends and neighbors who've just had enough of having their livelihoods and prosperity attacked by a hostile federal government. They're frustrated, and they have every reason to be. 85% of Canadians in this last election voted for the two leaders promising to turn Canada into an energy superpower and to build resource corridors, including for oil and gas, while only 13% voted for the fringe voices in the Socialist NDP and Bloc parties and their extremist leave-it-in-the-ground policies. Obviously, we have a ways to go, and it will take a lot of work to undo the damage caused by these last 10 years of Liberal NDP rule. But that clear change in public opinion gives me hope. I think it should give all Albertans hope.
Madam Premier, with all due respect, I have no hope for this at all. None at all. Hi, it's John. Welcome to the channel, 4:01 p.m. with the Big Blue Mug of Coffee, May the 5th. I just spent 20 minutes watching Danielle Smith address the province. About 4,000 people were watching on YouTube, on the Alberta website. I'm sure other people were watching, and here's my take on what she said. It's the same old, same old. People were expecting her to come out and say, we're going to have a referendum on independence in Alberta. I did not expect her to say that. She went through the same old stuff. She's got demands of Mark Carney, tanker ban, Bill C-69, plastics ban. She added in no more transfer payments for BC, Ontario, and Quebec. They should be able to take care of themselves, so I agree with that. But there's nothing new here. So what? 85% of the people in the country voted for an energy corridor. Mark Carney's not going to do that. I did a video ages ago. You can't spell liberal without L-I-N-E. He spent the whole freaking campaign lying to Canadians to get their vote. He's going to go kiss the ring of Donald Trump, who's talking 51st state again. And how long before a couple of NDPers walk across the aisle and join them and they have a majority government and they're going to screw us over again? Madam Premier, you know who Mark Carney is. You said it yourself.
Given that the new Prime Minister is a whole new level of climate zealot and eco-extremist. From his decades-long push for net zero banking that sought to make it impossible for banks to invest in oil and gas, to his promise now to massively increase carbon taxes on our industry, make no mistake, he wants to eviscerate our oil and gas industry. It's right in his book.
Madam Premier, your first impressions of Mark Carney are correct. He has not changed. That's who he is. He's an eco-zealot, net zero nut. And so are all the people in the Liberal Party. They've been voting for this crap for 10 years. Year after year after year after year on carbon taxes. Do you think all of a sudden they've changed? I mean, he's hitching his wagon to the EU now, net zero nuts, with Ursula von der Leyen, the head of the EU, tweeting out to Anthony Albanese in Australia, Labour net zero nut. That's what he is. Past behavior, best way to judge future behavior. And even if Mark Carney were to give you everything you say you want from him, and he won't, if he doesn't walk out tomorrow and say the end of Bill C-69, you're not going to get any of it. We want to vote on separation here. That's what we want. This is what you said in your speech today to the people of Alberta.
To be clear from the outset, our government will not be putting a vote on separation from Canada on the referendum ballot. However, if there is a successful citizen-led referendum petition that is able to gather the requisite number of signatures requesting such a question to be put on a referendum, our government will respect the democratic process and include that question on the 2026 provincial referendum ballot as well.
I'm all for finding the correct number of votes to have a referendum. But Madam Premier dropped the number down to 177,000 now. That has not been passed. The number still sits at 600,000. And you know what? I did not expect her to come out today and say we were going to have a referendum on independence here in Alberta. But you know what? She could have walked out and said, listen, This is going to hang around our neck until we get this straightened out. We're going to have a referendum question in 10 months. Both sides make your case. And then we would get it resolved one way or the other. She could have done that long before we have an election here in 2027, I believe in October. And that way the NDP couldn't continue calling her a separatist after we had the referendum question one way or the other. Now, we're going to see a lot of hostility from people. Don't buy it. Okay, don't buy it from anybody. Here's something I saw online today. This is on X. I was born in Alberta. I grew up on a rural farm in Alberta. We farm in Alberta. And our farm is now a third generation farm, but I am Canadian first and always. Like the majority of Albertans, I do not and will never support separation from Canada. And I put out, you do not know a majority of Albertans will never support separation until there is a vote. You don't speak for me. A lot of people are saying that as well. Here's Dwayne Bratt. Everybody runs to Dwayne Bratt for his comment on everything. I'm a proud Albertan, a proud Canadian. I will not forget anyone who dares to try and make me choose between them. And I tweeted back to him, my name is John. It's easy to remember. Wexit. And it's happening everywhere. Alberta will never separate, but people are worried about this, folks. We need a leader. We need a leader. Watch my video this morning. We don't have a leader. Too much infighting in this separation movement in independence. And people are going to try to make that even worse, okay? Something else that I did here, I sent this to the Premier today. We want to vote on our independence. Madam Premier, for far too long, Alberta has been disrespected by Ottawa in the East. We have had enough. Hollow words and promises from Mark Carney and the Liberal Party mean nothing to the hundreds of thousands of Albertans, maybe millions, who want their independence. I respectfully ask you to allow Albertans to have a say in their future. We want a vote. And there is the Premier's email address. I'm not telling you to email her, but you may want to do that. And I did get, just to let you know, I got an email response here. Thank you for contacting Premier Danielle Smith. So she got my message. Perhaps you want to send it to her and let her know how you feel. But nothing new today. A few more demands of the government. Carney hasn't answered any of the other demands, so why should he now? But nothing new today. Just on a final note, Jeffrey Rath, who I mentioned in my video this morning, one of the leaders of the independence movement. This is the guy, the lawyer here in Alberta who wants 51st state, wants to talk to Donald Trump. I hope that when we hear Premier Smith today, that she has finally realized that she's either on Team Alberta or Team Canada. She can't be both. What do you think? Where does Danielle Smith sit right now? I like Danielle Smith. I think she's been very strong, but where does she sit? What are your thoughts on that? Leave them in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel as well. Ring the bell for notifications. I'm working my way towards pretty close to 31,000 subscribers here. I do appreciate you being here. I will see you in the next one.